Hi friends, and welcome back to the renovation of our home that was built in 1903. Just a recap, I'm Deborah with Be Vintage Style. So I've been dealing with a leaky faucet for months that I resorted to putting a jug under, or I would go down underneath and shut the hot water valve off so that my tap would stop leaking. I had to hip check my drawers because they were so old and sticky. They were extremely hard to close. And then the cabinets wouldn't stay closed, so I would fold up receipts, which a lot of you were laughing and have done this trick in the past. And I would wedge these little pieces of paper to get those cabinet doors to stay shut. And it worked like a charm, I have to say. So this kitchen was probably refinished in the 60s or 70s, but things were slowly falling apart. So it was time to redo everything. The kitchen also felt extremely dark in comparison to the rest of the house because it was very closed off. So I decided to remove some walls, including this one to the back staircase, and then this one that went into my dining room and fireplace area and had a view of the front family room had to go for sure. And this one, which had my triple French doors that I love. It's probably my favorite feature in this whole house, so I couldn't part with these beauties. I felt like I needed them to be moved somewhere. Our front entrance is very beautiful and grand, but it was quite closed off from the family room, so I thought, why not move them right over here where this small door is going from our family room into our front entrance. So that was the plan. We were also adding a new window on the east side of the house and having a custom window built for the main kitchen window, which I'm so excited to install. So the week began packing up the entire main floor. I have a herniated disc in my back right now, so this was a very hard feat to not be able to lift much, but the family all came together and we got it done. Most of the items in our home we packed into Tupperware bins and put in storage in our basement, and then we wrapped the bigger pieces of furniture in cellophane and stored them in this corner. I decided last minute I wanted an outdoor kitchen instead of bringing in our trailer. So here we are on Sunday covering our deck and putting in this adorable outdoor kitchen. I've linked a tour of the kitchen in the caption below. My team of carpenters and the demolition trailer arrived first thing Monday morning, and we began preparing the area for demolition, covering all the floors with cardboard to make sure they stay protected. And then we even put up a vapor barrier and sectioned off the areas we would be working by stapling it to the ceiling and taping it to the walls. Things started coming down like my shutter wall, and next thing you knew, we were yanking things out of the kitchen. I was not sad to see this faucet go, and would you know it, it was still giving us trouble right up until it left the building.
Still causing problems.
We filled this trailer 3 times this week. I could not believe what came out of the inside of this house, beginning with the panel board walls that we took off in the kitchen and brought this space down to the old-fashioned lath and plaster. Okay, well, this is a new look. One of the only disappointments so far in this renovation has been this fireplace. Not quite what I was expecting there. I was expecting the chimney to be in the middle, and it is on the side, so we have to change some plans for that. The next morning, we got right into removing this lath and plaster, and oh boy, was it a mess. I could not believe the dust everywhere. Even with all the preparation work that we did, there was dust all the way up to my attic. Yikes. Things started arriving that morning, like the custom supports and beams. It didn't take long for my team of carpenters to start taking down walls. They also were really great about keeping any of the original trims and moldings for when we put things back together so that it still has those pieces of history. It was so open. As soon as they started taking that lath and plaster down, I could see that the vision was coming to life, even with all the framing still up. This was day 2, my friends, and they had already taken the walls down. To say I was excited is an understatement. I was literally doing cartwheels through my kitchen. The team put up temporary walls to support the load-bearing walls we were removing, and they slowly, piece by piece, took out the old walls. Then they installed the beautiful beams. These were very hard to put up, but boy, did these guys know what they were doing. There was a few places in the floor above that were sagging, so it did take some elbow grease and jacks to make this project go smoothly, but they did it seamlessly and flawlessly. in one afternoon. Even before the temporary walls were removed, I could see how worth it this project was with how much sunlight was flooding in my home. We also had a very exciting find in our front entrance, as it seems there was a set of triple French doors originally in the house. When we opened the wall, we found the exact framework we needed for our doors. After the beamwork went up, it was time to start cutting the new window into the exterior of the house. This went really quite quickly, and boy, oh boy, did it ever give a ton of light in this space.
That's pretty cool.
Next, we moved on to the electrical, which unfortunately came with a very big surprise. In the walls we found knob and tube, so we had to not only upgrade our big panel, which we're moving to the basement, we also had to replace all the wiring through the house. Our water pressure's always been really bad here, and we found out why when we cut into a few of the pipes, the original pipes that were almost corroded, completely closed, therefore no water flow. So we replaced all the plumbing in the whole house too. But I did get an outdoor hot water faucet, which I was happy about. Next, we moved on to flooring, and my floors were so uneven, but the guys had a great plan. That actually worked out perfectly.
Strengthen the house from above.
Okay.
Push just on this little.
Right. Using the weight of the house above, they were able to push our floors below parallel and secure them from there. It worked like a charm, and my floors are now perfectly even. In all of our renovations, I've always tried to stay true to the character and age of this home, and I was able to find 150-year-old fir flooring to patch our floors in this house, and I couldn't be more excited about this. They're gonna look just like the rest of the floors. Then we moved on to insulation. This felt so good to finally be putting things back up instead of taking things down. I also replaced the window in our kitchen that I had custom built by a local carpenter who also happened to be my husband's old hockey coach. So my husband worked with him on this beautiful wooden window that we built out of old fir timbers that were salvaged out of a grain bin. He built the most beautiful window. It is a European style push-pull window that I'll be able to swing open from my kitchen. I'm so happy with this, you guys. It will be a beautiful feature when all done. Plywood went up next. This was so that we could attach the shiplapping on top of the plywood. Shiplap. This was a job. 2 guys, 2 days, over 500 boards that I then had to spray each side of them to make sure that we covered the edges, and then they started putting this up, and it felt amazing. It looks really pretty. It's 2.5-inch shiplap. It's going to give a really authentic feel to this space. It already does. Now we move forward with cabinets and all the fun features.